Tupac.
Allegedly.
Oh, man, no, I watched that video. There is no allegedly, sir.
You got him? You got the man that killed him?
Yeah, man, I figured it out. I think so did the cameraman. Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your host, Nelson.
Ian.
Ed.
And today we got some new trailers we are jumping into.
Disney's doing stuff. Disney's doing
That's
stuff.
right. We just caught a trailer that dropped like 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
5 minutes before this podcast was recorded.
Amazing.
Correct.
Amazing. Looks good. Let's talk about it. She-Hulk.
Yes.
She-Hulk.
It looks
Like the regular Hulk, only sexy.
Yeah.
only with she in front of it. Yes.
It looks like they're gonna lean more into it being a comedy.
And I think it's the right approach. Looking at the
It's
trailer.
called like She-Hulk Attorney or something, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. They kind of put on it because so far they only really announced it as She-Hulk. Same thing like they announced Ironheart and they announced Miss Marvel, but they didn't give you any taglines with a lot of this stuff. Like
the Hulk's in it though.
Like the Fantastic
Yeah.
Four they showed was just a four. Like they didn't give you the full name. They're just like, these people are coming soon.
I had zero faith because there's been so many She-Hulk like teaser trailers
Yes.
or fan made.
Yes.
But this is legit.
Yeah,
This is
and it's better than any fan-made trailer we've seen so far.
Yeah,
yeah, because they definitely got Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk in it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if a fan made that, they got some money.
and it's smart Hulk in it. It's not Hulk. It's the knitted sweater
Yes.
wearing
Banner Hulk.
combed back hair.
which is great because that does lend to be much more of a comedy as well.
Yeah, I like that version of Hulk. I thought I would have enjoyed more of it, actually. Like, I would love to see a movie based off of that. And if we don't get the movie, at least we get the TV show with him playing alongside She-Hulk.
But the dude that played Abomination in the Edward Norton Hulk
Is
in
there?
it.
It looks like they're
Correct.
gonna try to make her his lawyer.
So the Hulk's
And he's a
arch
psychopath.
nemesis.
Yes.
The Hulk's arch nemesis is being represented. Isn't She-Hulk like the Hulk's cousin?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
So no weird theories about a power couple, please.
yeah.
No Game of Thrones shit
Yeah.
going on here.
Oh, well, I don't know. It's too soon. And it is Disney.
Oh God. You are right.
They could do a proper old man Logan.
Yes.
Yeah, they might.
So-
They might. Oh God. Oh,
What I
God.
do find funny is if they're making his lawyer, right? Just thinking about this because it just dropped. He was with Wong in Shang-Chi.
You're right. The Abomination.
The Abomination, right?
And weren't they fixing the fight?
They were fixing
They were
the fight.
fixing the
Fixing the
fight.
fight,
Like
fucking
Wong was
around.
throwing the. Yeah, that was great. Because people would bet on the Abomination to beat Wong.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they were that was great.
So
love
I don't
that.
know, comic-wise, is there any version where the Abomination is like a part of the Avengers or some shit like that?
Has
or
he ever
is that-
joined a team?
Not
I don't know.
a jointed team, I think so, but not on the good side, or at least
Right.
not
Yeah.
purely good
Special
side.
forces
I mean, but if
operative
he's
and
fucking
fusion-
around with Wong,
I mean, because there is a whole assortment of other Hulks.
Yeah.
There's Scar, who is Hulk's son,
Yeah.
and then there's a Blue Hulk, who is somebody else. Eventually,
And there's
Hulk
World Breaker Hulk.
gets transferred onto a scientist. I'm
No, but
drawing a blank on
Abomination.
the name, but there are several Hulks other than the standard.
right?
And there's
Banner
the
Hulk.
Hulk that's like he survived the nuclear holocaust or whatever. I like that one. Like there's a post-apocalyptic Hulk because
Yeah.
technically his skin heals at such a fast rate that the radiation can't dissolve it as quick as
Yeah.
he regenerates.
That's pretty
He's
nice.
constantly in pain,
That's
but
pretty
he's
nice.
still alive after
Yes.
the nuclear holocaust.
Well,
Hulk's still
there
here.
was a version of Hulk where they dismembered into different jars to try to keep
To
him
stop him.
from rampaging, and
Well-
eventually even that could not stop the Hulk.
During the Marvel Civil War, they only sent one person off the planet.
yeah,
Hulk, you gotta go. Hulk, you need
and
to
it
get the
makes
hell out of
sense
here.
because he would just annihilate everybody.
Well, they don't want him picking sides.
But Abomination, gotta say, don't really know too much about him as a character per se. But I like it. I like that they're leaning into some of the stuff that we don't know too much about.
I know his base. I know he in his base form.
Yeah.
Like just him as himself, he's generally more intelligent than the Hulk, and his base level form is physically stronger than
Yep.
the Hulk. The Hulk has to reach a level of anger where he surpasses the Abomination. But at the beginning stages of the fight, the Abomination is much more dangerous than the
Okay.
Hulk. So
I'm
I only
looking
know that
forward to
because
it.
Hulk used to be my guy. I guess.
It looks humorous. I like the way that they're leaning into it. She looks like she's going to be a really great She-Hulk.
And if they're bringing all the way back from Abomination like that, this is the second time. It definitely leans into the ability to bring in Thunderbolt, to bring in the Red Hulk, to bring in kind of all of the people that they kind of hinted at all the way when they had the rights.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't have the rights. All the way when the rights to do single Hulk movies was being used.
Okay.
He'll never get his own thing, though, because someone else is still sitting on the rights.
Here's the thing. I would like to see that they did not do, because if you're bringing in Abomination, who's the other villain that you can bring in from that movie?
The leader?
The leader.
Yeah.
No.
And I thought that guy was a perfect version of the leader. He was kind of dorky. He looked like he could fit the role and shit. Like, you
there's
could
a lot.
essentially bring in the leader to She-Hulk.
You could.
Why not?
There's a lot
Be the villain in the show.
that they can do that they can start setting up with the shows.
I think that they're tying into some villains too loosely, because I think at the end of it all, if they're gonna jump into like some Secret War shit down the line, or if they're gonna jump into like, hey, the planet as a whole needs to fight off these villains.
Yeah.
I mean, to fight off this new threat, heroes and villains will have to combine forces in order to do so.
Yeah. I mean, they hinted at the Illuminati all the way back in, might have been in Iron Man 1? At least Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
They hinted at Illuminati. So
Right.
that has been in the background as long as Thanos. And then even some people had pointed out that the energy transport that Reed Richard uses is very similar to Good Boy Kang, and the one that he uses.
Shout out to Loki.
Yes.
Watch that
Yes. Which, surprisingly, that's something we didn't touch on with Wanda and Doctor Strange, is that
You'd be
there
lost.
was no mention of Kang
No.
in
No.
that movie, and you would
But
think in the multiverse of madness,
Yep.
a teeny tiny.
If anything that the Multiverse of Madness does show, and it's a positive, is how much you're going to have to keep up with the Disney Plus shows.
Yes.
Like, if you did not watch WandaVision,
You
you
were
did not
lost.
watch Loki, you were, what's happening?
Yep.
What the hell's that? What's going on here?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. But they're definitely going to have to clarify, because some people are confused between the concepts of timelines, alternate planes of reality, and multiverse. Because in general, when you're thinking about it, it should be different timelines are all within the same universe, but different alternate paths. But then you have the alternate universes. But then within each universe, you also have different planes of existence.
I know it's confusing, but
So-
just get
So
on.
some people are
Enjoy
not
the ride.
I got you.
are not keeping up with the fact that they are different
Bugging me.
because they're not making a very concrete explanation
So
of them.
to put it in a basic term, you're discussing the difference between the Spider-Verse, where you have different versions of the same character played by different actors,
From different multiverses.
and Doctor Strange, same guy, all across the board.
Doctor Strange, well,
Because-
but that's the difference between different versions of Doctor Strange. So for some reason, Spider-Man tends to be, through the multiverse, different Peter Parkers, where he himself is physically different, much like Loki. But the idea is also the further you get from your universe, the more likely the person is to be different. So the Doctor Stranges we ran across were all within a range of universes that were fairly close, so it was all the same looking person. Whereas the Spider-Mans we ran into were far enough apart that physically they were different looking people.
That means there might be a multiverse somewhere where I'm a good lover and intelligent and attractive.
And
That's a far off universe, sir. I mean,
That's on
other
the
side of the
far other
galaxy.
side of this one.
I thought you were gonna go with there's a universe where I'm Doctor Strange, and I would have been like, you know what, you could be a really good
Yeah,
Doctor
but
Strange.
not handsome.
Yeah, yeah.
No, that's not. That's
But
not,
let-
happening. Not anytime soon.
If there was a multiverse of Ian Madness, I would think you would be more of a Thor. I would go
think?
for Thor, bro. You know what I mean?
Or the
that's your
Abomination.
style. And Eddie, She-Hulk, right? I mean,
sure, why
Yeah.
not?
He would make a good She-Hulk.
yeah.
Nowadays, you can't assume gender.
No, you can't. You cannot. No, especially with Disney.
And for me, I would say Chadwick Boseman. I'm more of a regal.
America Chavez.
And I quit. I'm not punching stars into the universe,
Why
sir.
not,
No,
man?
no, no.
Come on. You get your
I
own
was
little
trying
jacket.
to go like
get your
Wakanda
own
forever, like Puerto Rican style, Boricua forever. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
man,
Like,
no.
They could have went that route. You know what I mean? But
And
You had to
Wakanda's an island in the Caribbean.
yo, my partner's the chupacabra. You know what I mean? Like flying in on a big frog. You know, like the Koki and shit. You know what I mean? Cool.
And another thing about Multiverse of Madness, some people are trying to point at Strange, saying he's the one that caused the breakdown. But from Marvel head directly, no.
It's not.
It was not him. It was in Loki when she stabs He Who Remains.
Right.
He said it outright in her interview. No, it wasn't him. It was from her. She did that, which allowed the spell to go out of control. So people keep trying to and this is a no. Yeah. It's this. You can make your theories based on him. It was her. Start over. You're wrong.
But these are the same people that they have to put warning labels on an iron that says do not iron while wearing your clothes.
Yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they don't fucking get it.
Please don't drink on the bleach.
Yes, exactly. These are the Tide Pod Challenge people that are also making these theories. So please forgive them.
Hey, the earth is flat, man.
They know not what they do.
It's all right.
She-Hulk, to me, I'm fucking excited for it.
Yeah, that was definitely the best trailer.
Really looking forward to seeing it.
If that's an accurate depiction of what the show is going to be,
It's gonna be fun.
yes,
It's gonna be fun. The Boys season 3.
Yes.
With the actor that plays Homelander actually being a psycho, being able to play himself. So this is good.
You were right. You made a good point. Like, when you watch the trailer, and now I think about it, when you watch the show as a whole, there is some fucking crazy in his eye.
Yeah.
Like, at first I'm like, man, he's a really good actor. He's selling the crazy.
No, that's him.
Maybe he's selling the normal.
him,
Maybe
yeah.
he's selling the normal.
I mean, that dude
and he's a fucking
That
psychopath.
dude's beating the shit out of chefs. Like, he's a wild man. He's a fucking wild man, you know?
Yeah,
And,
man.
you know,
I definitely would steer clear of that man in an
a
alley.
method actor. That's all it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you ever hear those recordings that Christian Bale had years ago? Apparently, a sound guy walked across the set during the set of one of the Terminator movies he was in.
Well, it wasn't.
And he went off.
Yeah, because
He's like, I'll beat the fuck out of you. He's like, if I come on the set tomorrow and this guy's here, he's going to the hospital. I was like, oh my god, Batman has lost his mind.
I believe it
He
was
played a
supposed to.
psycho first, though,
Yeah.
didn't he?
He did.
All right,
did.
so I mean, it's in the title. There.
I believe it was supposed. It was one of the emotionally difficult scenes, and he walked through the lighting
Oh wow. So the sound guy was a dick.
on the scene. So
Okay.
he's trying to,
Right.
draw up this emotion, and then shadow puppet in the background, sound guy,
Right.
the fuck.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the same guy though that you do want when you're all right, sex scene going on with the really hot actress, and you're like, fuck, we lost it again. God damn, this is the third time, Carlos. You get a raise. If you ever do that again, I'll send you a basket to your house. You bastard. Thanks, bro. Pizza's in the back room for you with your name on it. You know, that's the kind of shit.
No, it's sex scene.
Yeah.
Nelson and Scarlett Johansson, take 12.
Take 12. Get it right this time.
now
God
that
damn
is
it.
the alternate reality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Sex
Boys-
scene, Nelson and
Boys
Rosie
looks
O'Donnell,
great.
take 5.
Looking forward to Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, which was a fan favorite show of mine. I really, really enjoyed. I've seen all 47 seasons of Supernatural.
And they are doing a prequel.
They are, yes.
Jesus.
I'm liking seeing him come in
People
as
love that universe.
as Soldier Boy. Which is basically their version of Captain America. They also have another character that looks like she's going to be playing their version of the Scarlet Witch.
I saw that.
Yeah, it looks like she's got some magic powers. Then they're also taking the Butcher, which is the main antagonist, I guess, or protagonist.
Yeah, Billy Butcher he's kind of an anti-hero, but he is a protagonist.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
Depends. Are you on the side of the heroes? Are you on the side of?
If you've ever watched the show, Eddie, it's really hard to be on the side of the heroes. It's really hard to be on his side.
A bunch of corporate sponsored dickheads.
Yes. Now there are a few
and they set that tone quick. If those that have seen the show,
it's fucking wild.
first 10 minutes, episode 1, you get the fucking feeling for how these heroes are.
Yeah,
Holy
that
shit.
opening scene really does set the pace for the show. You're like, what?
And me,
Fuck.
who's someone who'd never read the comics, no idea what the fuck I was going into. Holy shit!
I enjoyed it.
I couldn't stop watching that show. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, no, it really is a very, very good show.
I will say, though, that I think The Boys is the second best superhero show on Amazon Prime. I think that Invincible
yes.
is definitely...
But, you know, it's under the same banner, right? Invincible and The Boys has that, like, shock and awe. There's a brutality to it.
And ironically,
just on a different level.
Next episode of Death Battle on Screw Attack is Homelander versus Omni-Man.
Interesting.
I don't know. I got to go Omni-Man. Omni-Man's a bad motherfucker.
Me too, because the comparison they made, they described Omni-Man as what if Superman was a Saiyan. And I was like, yeah. Like, what if, because Viltrumites, that's what they are.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially, the Viltrumites, it's like, okay, what if the Kryptonians their planet didn't blow up? They just had a culling. They literally fought all amongst themselves on the planet to see, okay, who's the strongest among us? They wiped out half their population. But they found out who was the super race among them, and then the strong ones that were left formed a council. Okay, let's expand and conquer everything. like all right. Like, what if the Kryptonians were a bunch of dickheads, and they were just like, okay, we're stronger than everyone. Let's do some expansion here.
We deserve to be in power.
As the Joker said, aggressive expansion.
And that love is shared along the family, because you see him fuck his son up.
Well, he literally waited until his son got his powers.
Yeah. Yep.
As soon as he saw his son got his powers, he's like, okay, time to do what we do.
Game time, bitch.
Time to do what we do. So.
But that was another great cartoon. Again, first episode. End of the first episode, I sat there on the couch because I really didn't know too much about Invincible, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's new."
Yeah, end of the episode, you're stuck watching the credits, just like,
yeah,
like with a sick feeling in your stomach.
It was very Games of Thrones, especially how he killed those motherfuckers, mercilessly.
I do remember someone explaining, because the guy that's Flash was using his powers.
That's the roughest one.
Yeah, that he was using his powers to try to defend him. He was they calculated how long he was actually there slow. Because in him, it was going super slow. His head was getting mushed. Because he was moving super fast.
To him, that was an eternity.
Yeah.
To him, it was a year of his head being
At that point, stop moving, bro.
Yeah. At that point, I'm going, all right, just do it.
Yeah, just let it go. No, but The Boys looks great. A lot of new actors jumping in. Again, the Butcher looks like he's getting some powers, and it looks like all the things he's trying to fight.
They got that drug that gives you temporary superpowers.
Yeah, so all
technically levels the playing field.
All that which he's trying to fight, he kind of becomes. You know what I mean? At the end there, but
it's interesting to see, because it depends. If it gives you the powers of like Captain America, okay, like so you got Captain America. He's a soldier and he's tough and he's got super soldier serum. But if you gave like a pill that gave Captain America level power to like Israel Adesanya, he'd probably whoop Captain America's ass due to the skill difference. So that's interesting. I mean, if you give Billy the Butcher a pill that gives him the power of Homelander, who's a better fighter when the field's even?
That's what's up.
Who's a better fighter when the field's even?
I'm sure that's where this is gonna go. It has to.
Yeah.
We got to see the standoff. It's got to be Butcher versus Homelander. And I don't know if I want to see one of them die, though. I do want to see the fight. But that's going to be...
There was a Miss Marvel trailer, but,
we could talk about it.
It still looks like they're trying to give Cosmic... I mean, it's their chance to bring the fucking Inhumans in. It's the chance to bring in the Inhumans. And it looks like they're still...
They're doing it on a mystical, cosmic power.
I am going to watch Disney. I am going to watch.
I hope that the Bengals somehow... activate the Inhuman thing, because it's their chance to bring them in.
Like it's
but
full
it
of that mist?
Exactly. But it doesn't look like it.
But listen, let's take it for what it is. It looks like it's a show geared towards a younger generation.
Scott Pilgrim-esque.
Yes, it has some Scott Pilgrim vibes to it, which shout out to Scott Pilgrim, because they fostered a whole shit ton of superheroes in their prime.
A lot of heroes in that movie.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Superman is in there. Human Torch is in there.
Yeah.
I think a very underrated superhero movie.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
it was like a video game come to life.
I think because the ending deviates from the comic. So people are like,
still,
and then like it loses its heart when you at the last second you veer left instead of right.
Well, they do change things in the Marvel universe. Like for instance, like the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in this Marvel universe, there was no mention of them being Magneto's kids.
Correct.
No.
Correct.
They were just born in Wachovia, or they're born in Sokovia.
Well, even in the comics, when they're born, they're taken away from him. so they don't know that that's their father until years later down the line. So even in the comics, they're unaware of who their father is.
When they were fighting Ultron, Daddy would have came in handy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could control Ultron.
Now that would have been a different ending to the movie.
With a power over metal fighting robots.
I mean, shit. I mean, Thanos' armor is made of metal. I mean, there's so many elements where we could say, hey, Michael Fassbender, get your ass the fuck over here and start magnetizing shit. Like, come on. That's why Wolverine never messes with Magneto. He can't. His skeleton is a puppet for Magneto.
Unfortunately, he has gone up against Magneto, and Magneto was kind enough to rip all of the metal out of his body.
Oh my god!
And Wolverine, being Wolverine, does live.
Yes, of course.
One of the best healing factors in the whole Marvel universe. Yeah.
Now,
him, Deadpool. Yeah, they're definitely neck and neck.
They're definitely two of the
Deadpool's
best.
up there mainly because at the end of the day, Thanos gave him immortality. Because Death likes Deadpool. So Thanos' way of keeping him away from Lady Death was giving him immortality.
That's fucking hilarious. Stay away from my girl. Live forever, bitch. That's the ultimate cockblock if I ever heard one.
It's Ryan Reynolds. We got to keep him out.
This is true. Listen, that's the only way you're going to keep Ryan Reynolds off your girl.
Stay the
fuck over there. Stay in your lane, bitch.
But Infinity Gauntlet.
I mean, if they don't use Miss Marvel to start introducing the Inhumans again into the universe, then it's gonna have to be when they lean more into a Secret War.
Yeah,
and then reset the world of Marvel's 616 cinematic and have the mutants and the Inhumans.
Kevin
in
Feige,
there.
he's a man with a plan. He's got a big picture. They're lining these things up. Yep. So it's gonna come into play. I have no doubt that they have this mapped out. But
another trailer, Marvel-esque, is Thor. Chris Hemsworth. He's in a movie coming out on Netflix.
Love and Thunder.
Yeah. Well, he's coming out in the movie Spiderhead.
Oh yeah.
Looks like a really good movie.
It looks
amazing.
Interesting.
It looks amazing.
It does.
I like a good weird movie.
He's playing like some kind of like
evil
charismatic but dark doctor. I I
Yeah, he's clearly the mad scientist.
But that's an attractive doctor.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the only part I don't buy.
Wait a minute.
You're a scientist, sir? I think not. I believe a lot of things, Chris Hemsworth, but scientists, you go too far, man.
How'd you find the time to work out in med school like that? Come on. Come on.
Get the fuck out.
I know you're writing your own supplements.
That's
get out of here.
Unless he's got some experimental supplements.
It looks good though. It looks like it's gonna be trippy as shit though.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna be.
Yes, but it is the same house from Ex Machina.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that bothers me. Have you seen Ex Machina?
I have not.
Wow, fantastic. You like horror? It's sci-fi horror. Amazing.
Right up my alley.
Yeah, it's one of those thinkers. What do you call it? Like not a dramatic sci-fi thriller.
Who's in it?
The Machina and then the X.
Yes, sounds about right.
Yeah. Actually, like I don't remember the main cast. They're familiar faces, but it doesn't even matter. The story is so engaging. The acting is so fantastic. It's like 3 or 4 people in there, kind of like on an island unto themselves. And what happens, I don't even want to spoil it. It's great.
I have to take a gander.
It really is.
Sounds
it really
like
is.
it's up my alley. Does anyone want any of these peanuts? Because I'm gonna eat
them.
all.
Go for it.
Like all.
But it looks sci-fi. It looks sick. It looks twisted. It looks fun.
The trailer is excellent. They have a nice build up as they go along, as things just get weirder and weirder and weirder than Bloodstain. And you're like, okay,
you're like, I'm in.
Something got out of hand.
Yeah, something in that room didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen.
And let's be honest, when's the last time Chris Hemsworth put out a bad movie? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. He was in some action movie that I think was associated with an Indian company because it took place.
For a Netflix movie.
Yeah, it took place in India.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what the hell it was.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't good.
Correct.
He was also in that movie where he played that like weird, attractive cult leader. I'm trying to think. It was in a motel.
No idea.
Yeah, it was. It took place in a hotel.
Was it Jared Leto?
There was hidden. No, Jared Leto was nowhere near this movie.
No, he's a real life weird cult leader.
Oh my God, it was. I'm trying to think of who else was in it. There's one
Hotel California.
This one older actor played like a priest.
Transylvania.
I'm trying to think. It was. There was money. There was a lot of money involved in it, like hidden money.
Cults always have money.
Yeah, there was a shootout at this hotel, and it was actually pretty good. The one guy played like an old PTSD soldier.
You guys just go look up the movie with the hotel, the money in the shootout.
I'm gonna find this movie.
I'm sure if you IMDb him, you will definitely find it.
Oh, it was not. Yeah, it wasn't
But it did
good.
look good.
There was a Prey trailer.
Yes.
Now, at first, I thought it was based on the video game because the video game Prey,
Correct.
it does deal with Native Americans
Correct.
and their kind of spiritual ability to see things around
Yes.
them, and then it's clearly a predator
Precursor. Yes.
stealing the idea of the Prey games and just throwing Predator in there like, yeah, I mean, they're taking the name
Yes.
and the fact that it deals with Native Americans and just throwing them in there.
And it looks like a TV show or a TV series instead.
So
of this one.
Extraction was the movie where he was the bad Indian
Sounds
action movie.
familiar.
Yes. Yeah, that was
And-
a Netflix movie. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great.
Yeah, and then the other movie that wasn't that great was Bad Times at the El Royale, 2018. He plays a villain, cult leader, manipulative person. Yeah, and he.
Never seen it, but
yeah.
I do.
A lot of bad things happen at the El Royale.
But I do get that people would follow him.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
He's like, hey, who wants to come with me? There'd be like a line around the mall. Like,
Well,
yeah,
there's
all right.
there's actually scenes in the movie. You get the vibe that him being the leader of this cult, he kind of has his pick of the women in the cult.
Yeah.
And at one point in time, he actually has these women fight to the death to who sleeps in his tent that night. And
Also,
these
very
chicks,
believable.
and these chicks fucking they want that fucking spot. So
They want Thor's hammer. They
Oh,
want
dude.
that Mjolnir.
yeah, this one girl falls for him. She's like tribal, dude. She goes Valhalla on these girls.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
She's taking jujitsu classes in the morning,
Yeah.
MMA classes in the evening. She's like, that's my dick.
Well, about that Prey movie, I tell you what, I don't know what chance. I mean, I understand the Apache were very good survival
Yes.
hunters and stuff, but
It
I gotta
could-
put my money on the Predator.
It's not Arnold Schwarzenegger in a jungle with assault rifles.
No.
Like, it
no.
seems a little unbalanced.
It's Squanto with his single string bow and his stone knife.
Yeah.
That's
But we don't know, right? The premise could be like the Predators, like they realize they're so much more technologically advanced than them
that they're
they-
not going to use their triple laser beam to find the guy?
No,
Come on.
the
no,
Predator-
no, but
the
maybe
Predator
they,
does like a challenge.
maybe
He
they
does.
they offset some of their technology
Well,
to hunt.
in the movie Predator, he has Arnold dead to rights. He has him. He has him
Yes.
by the neck. He's looking at him, and he decides to take off his gun. He takes off his mask. He limits himself to just his blade,
Right.
and he decides to kill Arnold that way.
He's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if that happens. Kind of in the
That
Danny
happens
Glover
in
movie.
Star Trek with that predatorial race that they are in Voyager.
Yes.
They're the hunter class, where once they discover that they have this technology where they can make worlds, in the holodeck,
Yeah.
they decide, oh, cool, I have a great idea. We will be the Nazis in this game. We will hunt you down and kill you over and over again. And I'm like, oh, how historically accurate. This is fucking terrible idea.
I do have to say that Danny Glover did a lot better than Arnold in the grand scheme of things. He did a better job. The Predator was on the retreating end a lot more against Danny.
Yeah, hey, listen, man.
So.
He was in Lethal Weapon.
He was.
The man knows what he's doing. So
Yeah.
with those weapons,
He does.
Yeah.
Danny Glover's a tough dude.
So Prey looked interesting. I'm in it. I'd like to see what they're gonna do with it. Another show I don't know if you guys have watched, but I've really been into, and I'm on the other side of where people are in regards to this, is Halo. I've liked the show. I actually like the fresh take on it. I like the fact that it's a lot less.
Is it not getting good
based-
reviews?
It's not getting good reviews from the gamers.
Oh.
Because the gamers want it to be a depiction of the game, whereas the show is kind of taking on its own life based off of the game, which to me, for a show, makes more sense, right? They wanted Master Chief to basically be the Mandalorian and never take off his helmet, never take off his armor, and I'm like,
Right.
in this version of the show, it's like he explores a bit of his humanity. He's kind of like, hey, I've been the super soldier. Like even the bad guys in the show, what do you call the aliens in Halo?
Covenant.
The Covenant. They call him the Demon. You know what I mean? Because he kills so many of them. They're like, there's the demon, you know, in their language. And Master Chief is slaying motherfuckers. It's a cool depiction on a military sci-fi lifestyle. And they're giving it its own story arc. And yes, they have a love story in there, right? But what show doesn't have a fucking love story? Like, they're trying to cater to different audiences.
Well, just because the show, like, they gotta throw in there something for everything. I mean, Castlevania, they put a whole love arc in there between the two of the characters, but still a fantastic show.
Right, and demons are ripping people the fuck apart in that show.
Yeah, that show went hard. I mean, it was definitely an animation, but they didn't pull no damn punches, and they didn't spare kids either.
No,
like, I was like, oh my god, I was like, that demon just ate a baby, and somebody drew it. Like, someone drew it in vivid detail
in a dark room with some candles.
It's like who's
behind that?
You do have to wonder how long they're going to keep going with Halo. If they keep getting negative review, like, cause I haven't checked
longer than Cowboy Bebop.
Yes,
I haven't checked the reviews from like critics versus the spectators. So I know I just finished season 2 of Picard, and there's a huge difference. Like, the critics overwhelmingly liked season 2, and the viewers overwhelmingly hated season 2. I loved season 2. I enjoyed it. Now, is there issues? Absolutely.
Right.
I mean, the one character was just dead. They killed him, and he disappeared until the end of the fucking show.
That's the one thing about season 2 that I didn't like, because I liked that character a lot.
Yep.
Here's the first time you get to deal with
very George R. Martin.
Yes, the opposite side of the Vulcans, which are the
Romulans.
The Romulans.
Elnor, he's almost like a
Romulan ninja assassin. Like, I'm in, right? And then you make a dope ninja assassin with like a creed he has to follow, and then kill him in the beginning. You're like, what the fuck? Like, kill that guy.
That was Ned Stark.
You get another member of the Sung family line, the Adam, which is appropriate. He's the earliest member of the Sung family line of mad scientists, essentially. You know,
what is Khan? Khan's not Romulan.
No. He's a
genetically modified human being,
which they introduce at the end, so they show that Sung was kind of the one that kicks off the program for Khan, which is fantastic because everyone down the Sung line
because I know his last name was Singh,
like,
right?
Genetic
Khan Noonien Singh.
Yes. So like the whole Sung line did genetic manipulation and robotics. They all were trying to...
And illegal experiments.
Yes.
All of them, even down to the robotics.
And their whole main goal was trying to create a better human. And at the end, what they end up with is Data, one of the greatest Star Trek characters.
Correct.
But
also Lore, one of the most evil Star Trek characters. And we will yin to his yang.
We will not mention B4 and the atrocity that B4 is, and what a awful name. He's B4. Yes. And you can guess where he came in the line of Lore and Data. Before.
Oh, fuck. I was so close, bro. I was so close. Yeah. No, but I liked Picard. Did I love it? No, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I knew going into Picard, it was a show about an older man.
Yeah.
The
show's called Picard.
Right, at the end of his rope.
It centers around Picard.
Yes.
So people complaining about, but the other characters, it's called Picard.
Right, the other characters are just that. They're in the rear view, as they should be, because the show is really about him. And I liked it. I love Patrick Stewart as an actor. I love Star Trek as a whole.
He's my favorite captain.
Yeah. Oh, he's amazing.
Me growing up, Next Generation was the one that was always on TV.
Yeah. I love the Next Generation. He is definitely my second favorite captain.
The Reading Rainbow guy with the
Geordi.
He's supposed to be in the next season.
My favorite captain of all time is Captain Janeway. She's a badass. She reminds me of Sigourney Weaver in Alien. There's even a whole episode where she like takes off the captain's jacket. She's rocking the tank top. She's got a backpack with like a fucking flamethrower, killing aliens in her ship. I'm like, you are my Captain Janeway. I follow you into Valhalla.
That's definitely a Sigourney Weaver.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was so good. So good.
On the Voyager series of ships, in the cartoon, she's the programmed hologram on the cartoon ship that teaches them. But if you watch Next Generation, the second season of Picard, it ties up a ton of loose ends that the show never did. You touch a lot back in with Q. You touch back in with Guinan and the types of powers and everything else like that that she deals with. You touch back in with Wesley Crusher.
Well, speaking of Guinan,
Travelers.
Speaking of Guinan, the young version that they got to play her,
yeah,
Whoopi Goldberg picked that bitch out because let me tell you something. Whoopi Goldberg did not look like the young version of Guinan. Not even close. The young version of Guinan, which it was supposed to be like a depiction of Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Way better looking than Whoopi Goldberg could ever imagine to be. That's like me saying, "Oh, Nelson, who do you want to cast you in your life's movie role?" I'm like, "Oh, of course, Antonio Banderas," because I should have a ponytail. jealous, and I should wear. I should have like.
Oh, so you're going like Antonio Banderas in Desperado?
Oh yeah,
oh shit,
yeah.
Okay.
Of course, Desperado.
God damn, all
I even
right.
want the guitar case too, man.
Oh,
Like
El Mariachi?
yeah.
You're going El
Yeah, I'm
oh,
going
wow.
El Mariachi.
Oh,
Fuck
my
yeah.
God. All right.
Like, listen, honestly, if you were,
I remember young Whoopi Goldberg, like in Ghost. She
Yeah.
was, she's funny but not attractive.
no, she,
I ain't hitting it.
she's never been a sex symbol.
No.
Let's be honest. That's like saying James Belushi was a sex symbol.
Now, the other person in Ghost, Demi Moore. Whew. Oh God.
Now,
I'm sorry.
no G.I. Jane jokes, people.
Oh, I
Don't want to
you
make
never know
Will
what
Smith
Will Smith
angry.
is hiding.
I would still, shaved head and all, I would still tag her in G.I. Jane. Oh, sign me up for that basic any
That's
day.
right.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
No, but yeah. So you were saying young Guinan. They touched into Q. They touched into the Sung family. They brought back Wesley
Yeah.
Crusher.
I mean,
there was a lot of tie-ins. I do agree.
A trend. They do tie a lot of little loose ends. They touch in with a whole lot of stuff, and this is an episodic like the normal Star Trek, and I think that's what's throwing some people off. They're so accustomed to Star Trek being much more episodic that when you're doing serialized and you're doing just one storyline for the whole season, if it's not your style of story you like to be told, then you're not going to like that whole season.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's episodic, you don't like that one style of story, well, then
It
the
changes.
next episode, it doesn't matter. So in Strange New Worlds, they're leaning more into being more episodic. So each individual episode is its own individual episode.
Right. Which I like.
Which will be more like the standard Star Trek. But even Discovery's much more serialized, where
is.
it's one longer story for the most part.
But Discovery's so well done.
I'm glad, because I just finished season 3 of that, and I'm glad that it's in the future,
Yes.
and it's finally showing more future technology and things like that, where it's like, okay, now we're kind of stopping going backwards, because they
Right.
kept trying to go backwards.
I know.
And you're like, we don't want less technology.
We want
We
more
want
bitches.
More technology.
More technology.
Yes, yes.
You're going the wrong direction. Like, I enjoyed Enterprise for what it was, but I wanted the next Star Trek show to be forward in time, or at least starting where the last one ended.
Season 3 of Picard, those be fucking throwing rocks at each other. Fuck you.
Back to the Stone Age, bitches. I don't know why I turned Jamaican all of a sudden.
It's all right, man. It's all right.
but-
You gotta just work on. You gotta do things on the fly.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, they used that whole season really and built a nice little ending there with John Delancey's character Q.
Yeah.
And Picard, which I really liked, and it is an interesting thing because even in Discovery they point out, well, we haven't seen anyone from the Continuum in X hundred number of years, so there's a whole thing where they even touch on it there, and actually even in Discovery they bring back some real cosmic level characters with the Guardian of Time guy.
Yeah.
So they're really touching back and forth with some of these almost forgotten characters where, like, here's a weird thing they had to use to just tie up the storyline because they had nothing. We got 2 minutes left in the episode. How do we fix it? Cosmic being.
Right.
So they threw them in there as well, and this time they used them a little more.
The proper way.
Yeah, in the season 3 of Discovery. I didn't care for that 2-episode arc to wrap up her story. I really didn't.
Yeah.
But she was
we're
very
feeling it.
She was very shoehorned into the show. She was entertaining for being just an asshole compared to everybody else on the crew and kind of fucking up everything they were doing, but in a way that benefited them in the long run
Yeah.
to some extent.
So an asshole with a purpose.
Yes.
Who doesn't like an asshole with purpose?
I like my assholes with multiple purposes.
Right, Eddie?
If you pick up what I'm putting down.
Shit. What other trailers were we
sex
jumping
joke.
in? Oh, butt sex joke, the trailer. Yes. it was shitty. That's my review.
Oh, good times.
How about the Game of Thrones prequel that we probably didn't touch
Still
too much?
We didn't
on
touch
last
Game
time?
of Thrones.
I understand it's
You
very
still haven't
expensive.
watched Game
I
of
still
Thrones?
haven't watched Game of Thrones.
You're missing out. For everything that the
For
last
as much as
episode
you
fucked
guys
up,
shit on me about Firefly.
Game of Thrones, Eddie, I have to tell
Well,
you.
no, I got through the first season.
No,
Oh,
it
okay.
I
is-
just never. I
no,
just
it
never
is
got
one
into
of
it.
the
Yeah.
best shows I have ever seen as far as
to
a
me,
TV show is
it
concerned.
probably is the best show I've ever seen, even considering the disputed final season.
Yeah, the final season really doesn't make me want to jump back
No,
in
no,
and continue watching.
I don't even think it's the whole season. Like, honestly, if I had to nitpick at Game of Thrones, it's just the way it ended.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else was fantastic to me.
Little
I just
rushed,
didn't like.
little kind of like,
Yeah, they
Like,
could have.
really? That's how you're gonna leave it? All right.
At that point, do one of those like Soprano endings where it's like, and the king is go blank. You're like, what the fuck? What the? I probably would have been more happier with a black screen than not seeing.
Listen,
well,
the
you
fact
just
that-
don't
like-
not to spoil it.
You just hate the handicap.
But I already know what happens in the story.
I hate the fucking. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
I tell you, he's mad about the ramps that need to
Listen,
be built at King's Landing.
You could have given it to what's his name, Johnny Green Thumbs.
Littlefinger?
Littlefinger. Give it to
Oh,
Littlefinger.
don't give it to Peter Baelish. Come on, fucking hell.
Fuck it. Give it to the singer that came in for the one episode that people were mad that.
Ed Sheeran.
Sure, give it to Ed Sheeran.
He was a soldier of Lannister.
Now
Bro, they didn't give a
listen.
fuck who you were. Like, if you were a celebrity, you did not get a big role.
No.
Like, Ed Sheeran is like singing at a campfire.
Yeah.
Like, fucking Aaron Rodgers played a random Lannister soldier at the Battle of King's Landing. Like, you had to like look. You're like, oh, there's Aaron. Like, he's like,
That
I would have been
reminds
less
me of.
mad if the villain,
That reminds me.
Cersei Lannister, would have been the. I would have been like, you know
What
what?
if they just
well played, Cersei.
introduced a whole new character on the last episode and made them.
Still would have been better.
I
Still would have
just-
been better.
I was happy to see how many people it pissed off. I was
Yeah.
happy to see how many people were
But
disappointed and
In terms of celebrity cameos, my favorite is Seinfeld on South Park. I believe
Oh,
all he
yes.
did was a chicken's voice.
he was turkey number
Turkey,
fucking
yes.
67 or something.
and it
because-
was Turkey didn't even have a name. It was literally
Like
a
turkey
number.
number 67 because they said like Jerry Seinfeld's agent called Trey Parker and Matt Stone and they were like, hey, Jerry really he's a big fan of the show. He wants to be on it. And they were thinking like, okay, well, we already pretty much filmed the episode. It's mostly done.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, fine, we'll put him on, but he can be turkey number 67. And like all he had to do was be like, like literally they put him on and.
And you know what? He went in there and
Well,
he did his
the
job.
fucking
He did
agent,
his
the
job.
agent was like blown away because at the time Seinfeld was like the number one show on TV. He's like, you don't understand. This is Jerry Seinfeld. Like, and the way that Trey Parker and Matt Stone describe it, they were like, this is Jerry Seinfeld. I'm a big fat dumbass. like the way they do.
Yes.
And they literally stuck to their guns. They're like, no, if he wants to be on the show,
This
he
is
can
what
be.
he's gonna
And
do.
they took the fucking time in the credits
Yep.
to put a random turkey up there and just say turkey number 67, Jerry Seinfeld. And like
Goddamn
his
right.
one role is he popped up at like a bus stop and he was like,
I
Goddamn
love it.
right.
It's it's so good.
When it
That's
comes
the
to
best.
cameos,
The best.
I have to say, and I watched this recently, it's Bruce Campbell in the Marvel movies.
Oh
But
yeah,
his-
he's
man.
everywhere.
But
I
his
forgot
best
he
one-
was in the Spider-Man
the
movies.
Spider-Man
I
one.
Yep.
forgot.
When he's fucking with Tobey Maguire to go into the movie theater, he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Fix your tie. He fixes his tie. He's like, whoa, 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 let me see your ticket. He goes, okay. And then he goes up to the door. He's like, nah, well, you can't go in there. The show started. We got to keep the illusion. And I was like, what a dick. Also amazing. Because if I had his job, I would do the same exact fucking thing.
Well, it shows you Sam Raimi like just kind of like paying homage to what.
Oh,
Phil did.
yeah.
So it's like
Oh, yeah.
okay.
But Bruce Campbell, he can do no wrong in my eyes.
Yeah,
he
he's
was
fantastic.
great in Burn Notice.
Well,
You ever watch Burn Notice?
he's a good actor. Wasn't he in like Hercules or something? He also played he was in Hercules or he was in Xena. One of the
Xena.
two.
He was in
Xena.
Xena.
He
yes.
came in. He
Actually,
wore
in both
all
of
green
them.
or something. He was like I forget what the hell he was, but he was
No,
a
he was in
side
both of them,
character. Yeah,
because
he was a side character.
Yes, yes. he played like a traitor kind of a
Yeah.
a shady.
He did have a
traitor
spin-off.
Merchant,
kind of,
yeah.
yeah. He was an asshole, but a great asshole.
Who was like Hercules' little like bitch boy, the little long-haired blonde dude? Aeolus.
Edward.
Aeolus was his name. What the fuck?
Eduardo.
Yeah. I don't know why they even put him in there. Like,
Yo, listen. Whatever happened to Aeolus? That motherfucker's gone. I haven't not seen him since.
I don't know.
Kevin Sorbo did a lot of drugs.
Is Aeolus?
Kevin Sorbo played in like a fucking.
He went on to play Andromeda, which.
Dude, he also Kevin Sorbo went on to play. It was a Conan the Barbarian knockoff. It was called Call the Conqueror.
Oh, he started doing real religious stuff, just like
Kanye.
Well, the thing is, once you start going into those made for
One
straight
category.
to DVD super religious movies, you basically just fall
Fade
into
away.
that. Yeah.
Isn't that what happened to Mr. Knight Rider?
Oh no, he's actually really popular in Germany. He does a bunch of shit out there.
He's like a legit singer.
Yes.
In Germany. Like,
Yes.
They love Hasselhoff.
Oh, yeah. David Hasselhoff.
The Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
The Hoff.
Now that was a cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes. Yeah. He's a national treasure. You know what? I take it back. Hasselhoff, he's a bad motherfucker.
He's huge in Germany.
Yeah, bro. Have you ever seen his music videos? If you haven't, they are so worth watching. They're so ridiculous.
I don't know why, but like once a year, YouTube puts it on my feed of like, hey, remember this thing?
I imagine it's like the 80s all over.
Bro,
Oh,
yes. It's like a bad 80s trippy flashback.
And it's fantastic.
It's the best thing you'll ever watch.
Fantastic.
He's like a superhero, like flipping, landing on cars, and not missing a beat while singing into the microphone. It's like classic.
You gotta listen to Gilbert Gottfried.
Hoff.
God rest his soul. You gotta listen to Gilbert Gottfried talk about David Hasselhoff as a musician. It is the greatest fucking thing ever.
You know who else was a shitty musician but a great actor? Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah, Eddie Murphy. Did he do
that song was a hit. That song was a hit though.
He was it Michael Jackson he was with?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Eddie Murphy. The opposite of a Jamie Foxx. Like Jamie Foxx is one of those guys who could do anything.
Yep.
He can sing, he can dance, he can act. He's fantastic.
Jamie Foxx is multi-talented.
He's one of those motherfuckers where you can take him anywhere and damn, that's a bad motherfucker. Eddie Murphy, that song, I'm sorry. I think it was like Phil Collins. Didn't he do the song with Phil Collins, Eddie Murphy?
I'm not sure, but it was for one of his movies, and that's really what made it everywhere.
Didn't Eddie Murphy get caught with like a tranny?
Allegedly.
Don't they all? That was a setup, bro. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
They were trying to take the man down. That's some bullshit.
I always give tranny prostitutes rides when they need it. Sure, I'll take you to the next gas station.
You gotta be a gentleman sometimes.
Of course, Get in, you fine young lady boy. Come on, I got you. I'll take you up the block.
I gotta look up this Eddie Murphy song. Who he did it with here?
Yeah, because
I thought he was
Was
with
it
Michael.
Roxanne? Eddie Murphy sitting Roxanne?
I can't.
He sang Roxanne in that movie with Nick Nolte, with Another 48 Hours.
Party all the time.
Yes.
My girl wants to
Yep.
party all the time.
Who was it with?
It was a good song. It was a good song. I take it back. It was a good song.
Who was it with?
Let's see here. 1985. It was doesn't say. We would have to watch this video.
I could have sworn it was for a movie, or at least it was in the movie soundtrack.
You know who used to make the best movie soundtracks of all time and then stop doing it?
Phil Collins.
Bullshit.
Phil Collins.
Never.
How
sir.
dare you, sir?
No.
Phil Collins.
You obviously forget.
Tarzan.
Welcome to the Wild Wild West. Men in Black. Come on, man. You know you guys were dancing to Men in Black.
Phil Collins still.
Yeah, Will Smith used to slap. He did.
Yeah, he did, right? Men in Black was
Well,
a
actually,
great one.
he didn't
he
used
had
to
one
slap. He
good-
still slaps. Will Smith is still slapping to this day.
just in a
He had
different.
one good song on the album. Phil Collins, you can hit play on number 1 and listen to the whole thing.
Well, also, Phil Collins also Tarzan. That soundtrack is fire. The whole thing. The whole damn
Songwriter
thing.
was Rick James
Ooh.
for Party All the Time.
Okay.
Rick James did a lot of drugs.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
A lot of drugs.
No, but actually,
He's a super
Edward,
freak.
you are wrong. It is Elton John, sir. He is the king of like movie, cartoon theme songs. Like he wrote like in I think Aladdin and
It's
The
gonna
Lion
be
King.
a long time.
Yeah, come on, man. Elton John's the man. Listen, The Lion King soundtrack as a grown ass man. When you hear that,
Yeah, it was good,
yeah,
and it just
you're
throws
in
me off
there.
now. It throws me off because now I know it's like, like because the lions, the way they breed and everything, that like Simba and Nala were brother and sister. So like now I can't listen to that. So the whole time it's Elton John playing on this piano. Can you feel the love tonight? But it's like you're kissing your sister. It's like
So wait, you give Luke Skywalker a pass, but The Lion King is what
I
you're
never said I gave Luke a pass. I'm sorry, no. I don't give Luke a
as
pass.
long as you're swinging a lightsaber, you're all right to kiss
Oh,
him.
he was swinging a lightsaber, all right. It was like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? No, I do not give that a pass. I guess
He didn't know it was his sister until the next movie.
Okay,
Right. Which is typically how it goes down.
They still kind of, yeah, I guess.
Here's the rule of thumb, people. Stop dating people that look like you.
Yo, but Game of Thrones didn't care. Game of Thrones went hard.
Oh, yeah. No, they went deep.
Like Daenerys and Jon Snow, that's legit
Royal
uncle.
family
Uncle,
style.
like,
yes.
Like that's her nephew.
Listen,
like that's
look-
legit. He literally is just going at it with his aunt. And like I was in a room full of. I watched that episode when the big sex scene on the boat. I'm in a room full of like fucking 10 girls, right? And like when that shit starts happening, me being one of the few people that's reading the books, that's happening around me. It's me. I'm sitting there going, what the fuck? Like which left did we just make?
This is disgusting.
Like that's he is fucking railing his aunt right now.
Listen,
and there's a room like applause. There's a standing applause around me. What?
You know why? Because beautiful people get away with doing some sick shit.
Well, and that's why when they say, look how far we've come as a species. No, I was in a room full of people that applauded when that royal family shit happened. I was
He's
like,
a
what?
bastard.
Royal family trees are very skinny.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Not
sometimes-
many branches.
Sometimes it's a royal family telephone pole. Like we just fucking the whole way out, like straight line.
You
Like,
could do it like Genghis Khan and just leave your seed everywhere.
they said almost everyone in Mongolia can trace their lineage down. Everyone. That
So
dude
that
was
means
slamming.
that everyone fucking in
Slamming.
Mongolia today, you're probably related somehow.
Thus the term mongoloid. I'll leave that. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. That's enough.
And let's cue the episode now. Oh, shit. Yo, listen, that's pretty fucking disgusting.
It is, but hey, that's how he's also he was very successful at spreading his seed,
Yeah.
but he was terrified of his mother. That's the root. That's what I said. He was terrified of his mother.
I want to end it on this last note here.
Yeah, because we can't leave it at mongoloid. That's not gonna.
We absolutely can.
We left an episode. I would like to
It's not
go back a
beneath
few
us.
episodes. We left a fucking episode on Val Kilmer with throat cancer. We legit. We said, oh yeah, Val Kilmer has throat
I
cancer.
don't think that ever got published.
Thankfully.
It has not, sir.
So there you go, people. There's an episode out there where we literally left it at Val Kilmer having throat cancer, and then just boop, and then so we can't. We fucking
what?
can't. The music's playing. I'm like, you can't.
And you're gonna have to make that into like a little skit. We're gonna have to throw it out there for the people. Let them see
Let's
the
wait.
goodness that we have.
Let's
Like a
wait for
Christmas
Val to do
special.
something real big.
No,
wait for
Christmas
Val to do
special.
something big, and then we'll.
Is he still alive?
I think so.
All right, let's wait for him to pass away, and then we'll put it out.
Yes, the day he passes.
I think it's appropriate.
I had fixed the audios from those first few that the audio was bad.
Let's
I
do
fixed it.
Oh
Let's
no.
It took a bit to sort it out, but
All
I
right,
learned.
Let's do it.
So it's there.
Here's
It's
what
there somewhere.
Here's what I was gonna say. Going into the Obi-Wan trailer,
Yep.
Which
Number
comes
one.
out this month.
stop rehashing the same material, you bastards. They're
Yep.
like, it's a new trailer. It's only like 3 seconds of new material
Yeah.
with the old shit. But why do they want to squeeze Obi-Wan so much? That the general is like, I want all of you to squeeze Obi-Wan. I'm like, damn.
Have you heard
That's an awfully explicit.
You haven't heard the rumors about Obi-Wan? There's a reason why in that hologram it said, "Help me, one. Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope."
He is very force sensitive.
Oh, he is. He is. That's right.
Okay, Okay,
He even tells Vader, "You strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can ever imagine."
So here's another question. Do those ghostly versions of the Force people come back and watch you have sex when you're not looking?
Oh yeah.
Are they like ghost pervs?
It seems like they're able to.
You know, Luke's just looking up, and it's like Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, like they're all just like, yes, yeah, like Yoda, yes.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
To each their own.
Yoda's up there. Decent strokes you have.
Yeah. Do or do not, Luke. There is no try.
That's right. A better rhythm you must achieve. Yes.
I tell you what, there was some shades of Cortana watching Master Chief have sex on the show too. And she, and she was like looking like angrily. She was looking on angrily like, this motherfucker's having sex.
Exactly. She's like, I don't have any digital vagina. You know, that would bum me
So
out.
it just goes to show that most people, if they have the capacity to ghost into your room, the first thing they're gonna do is watch you have sex.
That's why invisibility as a power is way too dangerous.
Oh,
It's
yes.
just dangerous.
It is a dangerous ability.
If you think you had invisibility and you wouldn't be in the corner of your ex's house, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
You're a liar. You're a liar.
I
Just
think
sobbing in the corner. She never did that with me. Ah, just, you know, the saddest hero ever.
I think if I had invisibility, the one thing I would do is just become the master of blackmail.
Oh, absolutely. I would go to the bank and I would just stand by the thing and watch the guy's code go in.
Be shady as
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Never
Because
work
what am I going to do?
another
I'm
day
going to
in
pull
my
him a
life.
glove so I have no fingerprints. And this is what the security camera's going to see. A fucking glove floating through the bank, putting in the code, opening the vault, going in, taking out the money. A glove. That's it.
That's
What are they going to say? A purple latex glove robbed the bank.
Random disembodied hand.
Right, exactly.
Awfully specific that you're carrying around purple latex gloves, Ian. Eddie, cue the music. And thank you for joining us at the Sofa Kingdom podcast, where Ian wears purple latex gloves to do his robberies.
It's a very popular color in the hospital. Also, sorry.
I'm sure it is, Ian. Very popular in the hospital scene.
I cosplay as the Joker sometimes.
You can find us on all your social media platforms
Sofa Kingdom OFC.
and on YouTube in 4K.
Sofa Kingdom podcast.
Like, comment, share. Tell your friends.
And we're
we're
purple
here.
latex gloves. while
Purple latex
doing
gloves
it.
will protect you, you know? But sometimes you may have to get a different pair because, you know, people have latex allergies. It's serious. It's a serious thing.
Don't try to switch this into something instructional and informative.
Some people have rubber allergies, like Margot.
She is an allergy.
She is an allergen.
Oh.